Saudi Arabia has denounced a Senate resolutions to end a military-aid for a Riyadh-led war in Yemen and to blame the country, its crown prince, for the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The Saudi Foreign Ministry described the move as interference based on untrue allegations. Thursday's resolutions are largely symbolic and unlikely to become law, but they sent a warning to President Donald Trump about us lawmakers' anger towards Saudi policies. In a statement carried by the official Saudi press agency, the Saudi Foreign Ministry said, "The kingdom condemns the latest position of the Senate." It said that such a position was built on untrue allegations and affirms a total rejection of any interference in its internal affairs. The kingdom has previously asserted that the murder of Saudi citizen Jamal Khashoggi is a deplorable crime that does not reflect the kingdom's policy nor its institutions, and reaffirms its rejection of any attempts to take the case out of the path of justice in the kingdom. The United States have so far not publicly responded to the Saudi statement. Thursday's vote was the first time any chamber of US Congress had agreed to pull its forces from a military conflict under the 1973 War Powers Act. Some of President Trump's fellow Republicans defied him to pass the measure with Democrats by subtract 41. The non-binding resolution called upon Mr. Trump to remove all American forces engaging in hostilities in Yemen, except for those combating Islamist extremists. The United States chose to cease refueling Saudi warplanes last month, and Thursday's resolution, if it were ultimately passed into law, would prohibit that practice from resuming. The Senate then unanimously passed a resolution blaming Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for Washington Post reporter Jamal Khashoggi's murder on 2 October, and insisting that the kingdom hold accountable those responsible. Khashoggi was killed at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. Saudi Arabia's public prosecutor has said Khashoggi was killed on the orders of a rogue intelligence officer. Turkish officials, however, say they have evidence, including gruesome audio recordings, that the journalist was killed by a team of Saudi agents on orders that came from the highest levels. His body has not yet been found. President Trump has vowed to veto the measures, and they are unlikely at present to pass the House of Representatives, which on Wednesday blocked a vote on the matter. But independent Senator Bernie Sanders, who co-sponsored the measures, said he expected the resolutions to succeed once Democrats formally take over control of the House in January. Following their midterm elections victory, the Trump administration had argued the bill on Yemen would undercut their support for the Saudi-led coalition against Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. White House officials have emphasized the United States' economic ties to the kingdom. Mr. Trump's advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has continued to cultivate ties with the prince. According to the US media, the co-founder of the popular app HQ Trivia, Colin Kroll, has been found dead in his apartment in New York at the age of 34. The CEO, who also co-founded the video platform Vine, was found by police after his girlfriend reportedly asked them to check on him. An HQ spokesperson confirmed the death with deep sadness. HQ Trivia, a live trivia game on mobiles, became hugely popular following its appeal win this year. Officers of the New York Police Department went to Mr. Kroll is flat in Manhattan to carry out a welfare check and found his body, along with drugs paraphernalia nearby. TMZ reported in the initial media coverage of his death. The HQ statement read, "We learned today of the passing of our friend and founder, Colin Kroll, and it is with deep sadness that we say goodbye. Our thoughts go out to his family, friends, and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. The company confirmed Mr. Kroll his age after police had initially said
35.
Mr. Kroll's father, Alan, told the New York Times he had so much talent and had accomplished so much at such a young age. It truly is a waste. Mr. Kroll co-founded HQ Trivia with Riaz Yusupov. Mr. Yusupov paid tribute on Twitter. So sad to hear about the passing of my friend and co-founder Colin Kroll. My thoughts prayers go out to his loved ones. I will forever remember him for his kind soul and big heart. He made the world and internet a better place. Rest in peace, brother. End of Twitter post by @RazHQ Trivia was launched, and as last year and Mr. Kroll was named CEO this September. The free app live streams quiz shows, with a pot of money, often thousands of dollars, available to split between winners. The quiz show was guest hosted by some big names, from Jimmy Kimmel to Bert from Sesame Street. Its popularity faded this year, dropping out of the App Store its list of top 100 apps. Mr. Kroll was also a co-founder of Vine, a 6-second video streaming service that was bought out by Twitter in
2012 for $30 M24 米.
Vine announced in December 2016 that Twitter was discontinuing the mobile app. A Singaporean man has won a landmark court case, which will allow him to adopt a child he fathered through a surrogate. The man,
46,
and his long-term partner carried out the process in the United States at a cost of $200.
000199000.
As surrogacy is illegal in Singapore, he tried to legally adopt the child, but the bid was rejected last year, leaving him with no legal parental rights. Same-sex marriages are not recognized in Singapore, and gay sex is illegal. The 4-year-old child is considered illegitimate in the eyes of the law, as the surrogate mother and biological father are not married. The mother, who waived all her rights under the surrogacy deal, is also foreign, making the child ineligible to automatically qualify for Singaporean citizenship. The egg donor has never been identified. The father was left with no legal rights parental, though was allowed to make decisions on the child's behalf. The man's initial bid to adopt his child was rejected last December, though the judge at the time said the decision was not a judgment on what a family unit ought to be. Instead, Judge Kushner said it was about the ethics of commercial surrogacy. On Monday, Singapore's High Court ruled that the man, who cannot be identified, would be able to adopt his child. Our decision should not be taken as an endorsement of what the appellant and his partner set out to do, said Chief Justice Sundar Ashmannon in his judgment. He said that there was significant weight put towards the concern that the ruling would not violate the public policy against the formation of same-sex family units. However, he added that in this case, there was a statutory imperative to promote the welfare of the child, to regard his welfare as first and paramount. Speaking to the BBC, lawyer Ivan Cheong said his client was overjoyed and happy that at the end of a long adoption process, the child's welfare is upheld. At the end of the day, it is about what is in the child's best interest, Mr. Cheong of Eversheds, Harry Elias LLP said. Being recognized as a legitimate child and having his long-term residential status met have always been our client's primary concerns. A 3-year-old Indian girl is in critical condition after she was allegedly raped by her neighbor in the capital Delhi. The accused, a sub-12-year-old security guard who worked in the building the child lived in, has been arrested. Police found the girl unconscious and rushed her to a hospital where she is undergoing surgery. The incident occurred on Sunday, which was the 6th anniversary of the brutal gang rape of a student on a Delhi bus. Hailing women is Commissioner Swati Maliwal said the incident let down the bus rape victim, whose attacks saw countrywide protests and a tightening of rape laws. Today, a 3-year-old girl has been brutally raped in Bindupur, Delhi. She is bleeding profusely. Is we critical? I'm on my way to meet her. How much can this city let down Nirpaya, that even on her 6th death anniversary children are raped? At Narendra Modi for nth time. PL help. End of Twitter post by @Swati. Behind there is still no clarity on the condition of the girl, or whether she will survive the attack, which local media have described as brutal. Locals in the area found the accused and attacked him after the incident came to light, the Times of India newspaper said.